welcome back to my channel. Welcome to vlog number 2 of October. So basically this entire month I am playing Spookoply for Spookoply, which is put on from Becca and the Books. I will link her announcement video either up here or down below. The first book, let's just wrap up what happened in the last vlog. The first book did not go well at all. Hated it. Not gonna tell you what book it was, but go check out that last vlog. It was a very short vlog. I'm hoping this one's a little bit longer, a lot longer, but we have to figure out what I'm going to be reading. Ultimately, I ended up DNFing my last book, and it's mostly because I read 2 other books, and every time I picked up that last book, I read like 2 pages and then I was bored and I just didn't care enough. So I had to DNF that one. But let me set you up for turn number, I guess technically turn number 3, but only book number 2. Alright, let's take our next roll. Should be a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, dice roulette. So I'm not entirely sure what this means, but I remember that I have to roll both dice. And then I have like a page number I have to hit. So a 7. Let me go figure out what that means. Roll number 2 landed us on dice roulette, which I knew you had to roll both dice, and then on her little papers that she wrote for the rules and everything, a 7 means that I need to pick a book anywhere from page length 324 to 374. So the ones that I was trying to get on here, so let's start with The Woman in the Library. This is too small. Then The Ballerinas is too small as well. Then these 3 are the correct size, and if I was being smart about this, I would pick Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister, but I've already started this one and I'm hating it, and I don't want to do another vlog of me DNFing a book. Then we have The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain, which is 343 pages. Yeah. Then we also have A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCreet, which, to be honest with you, this is the one that I would pick if I could, but it is 390 pages, and if you remember correctly, the cutoff is 374. So technically I can't pick this one, which only leaves The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain. I don't know what this book is about. I think it's a historical mystery, because that's usually what Diane Chamberlain writes. So I'm just gonna start this book. I guess I have read the first 3 chapters, or the first 18 pages of The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain, and I'm really intrigued as to what is going on. So, as you might be able to tell, it's like bedtime, past bedtime for me, but I wanted to update you real quick, and then I might see if I can find the audiobook of The Silent Sister so I can listen as I'm falling asleep, and then if I do find the audiobook, then I can listen as I get up in the morning and get ready for work. But basically, now that I'm like 20 pages in, you follow this woman named Riley, who has gone back home after her dad died, and she hasn't been home in many years, so she's finally back trying to deal with her father's death and like his funeral arrangements and going through all of his stuff and everything of that nature. And you're just barely getting like the meat and bones of the book, so I still have no idea what's going on. I just know that her and her brother have kind of a very strained relationship, and that she was gone from her hometown of New Bern, North Carolina for a long time, and now she's back. I think she's about to start going through her dad's stuff, and my prediction is that she's gonna find something in his things, because she says he wasn't really a hoarder, but he did collect things, so he was a hoarder. But he has a lot of stuff that she has to go through and take care of, and my theory is that she's going to find something that is going to change her entire life, whether it be like a picture of a friend she had growing up, and maybe like there's a dark secret there, or her mom died a long time ago and maybe there's some kind of dark twisted secret. Maybe her dad killed her mom. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but I feel like there's gonna be some kind of dark secret when she's going through her dad's stuff. So right now it's just kind of building up the mystery. It's a small town, you know, come back to home type of mystery, which is really funny because I like that in mysteries a lot, like mystery thrillers, but I don't think I love that in romances. So I'm probably just gonna chill for the rest of the night, maybe read a couple more chapters, like I said, maybe listen to a couple chapters. And my goal originally was to update you after every chapter, but I'm already 3 chapters in, so that didn't happen. But I'm thinking that I will update you every few chapters, you know, and maybe maybe you can see me read physically some of this book. I'm hoping. So I have not updated this vlog in a little bit because I switched classrooms, and I have read quite a bit of my book, but I've just been really busy with things, especially like teacher things. It is the first day of fall break though, so no work for like 9 days. And if you are not from Arizona, I'm not sure if Arizona is the only state that does it, but we get 4 breaks technically. We have, in October we get a week off for fall break. In December we have holiday break. I guess we also have Thanksgiving break in November. Then in February, we have a rodeo break. So we have like half a week off for that, plus the weekend. So it ends up being like 4 or 5 days because the rodeo's in town. Yes, that I don't even think is a Arizona thing. I think that's a Tucson thing. But it's okay. Then in March we have spring break. And then summer, of course. Now, I am about 33%. I don't know if you can see that. 33% of the way finished with The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain. And here's the thing. I left it at school. And like I said, I'm off school for 9 days. So it's going to be in my classroom. But I am going to finish it with the audiobook. I have been reading it. Or reading as I listen. But for now, I'm just going to listen. So this book is put into 3 different parts. So part 1, part 2, and part 3. I just barely started part 2. But basically, you follow this family that has lots of mystery surrounding them. So you follow this woman. You follow her as, right after her dad died. And then it's her job to kind of go through all of his stuff and, you know, figure out his inheritance and what he wants to do with his collections and things like that. And then there's also the relationship between her and her brother. And there's the mystery surrounding her sister who died when she was like 4. But she doesn't remember her sister, but everyone says that she committed suicide. So, she committed suicide because she was going to go on trial for murder. And you're supposed to think that she murdered her piano teacher, but I don't believe it was her. I just think that she got scared because she was still young. She was probably, I think she was like 17 or 18. And she was about to go on trial for her piano teacher's murder because she was kind of a prodigy. She'd been getting music lessons since she was like 3 or 4, and she was amazing. And basically her brother remembers her sister Lisa, and she doesn't really remember her. She's blocking memories. But in part 2, so this is where there might be spoilers from this point forward. So if you're going to go read The Silent Sister, go do it now without spoilers, because I'm probably going to spoil everything. So in part 2, you kind of go back to 20 years ago, when Lisa was alive, and you're getting her perspective of what really happened with the piano teacher. You haven't quite gotten that yet, but she is scared right now that she's gonna go to prison for killing him. And she's like, I can't do that to my family. I can't. So she's coming up with a plan that will make it look like she's dead, but she basically just starts over. Here's the thing. Her suicide her suicide was that she, like, drowned herself on purpose, but her body was never found. Dun, dun, dun. So I think that she just started a new life, and maybe her dad knows that she's actually alive, or knew that she was actually alive somewhere, living the best life that she could, but now he's dead, and maybe he's the last person that knew that she's actually still alive. So this really twisted. I'm gonna, like, check some emails and do some, like, planning and stuff, so I might have you on my desk while I listen. So I'll be listening to my audiobook, but I'll be focused on some work things. Well, not like work things, because I really don't want to focus on work things, but like admin stuff for my channel and things like that. It's not like I just grab a camera and, you know, shoot. I mean, sometimes, but not really. I am going to show you, I have like a small book haul to show you. My brother-in-law took me book shopping because, to be quite honest with you, I had a really rough week at school, to the point where, like, I was even questioning my abilities as a teacher. I don't really want to talk about it because I'm not over it yet, and there is stuff that is not okay with me that happened. But let's see if we can find a place to set you and we can go over this little book haul. George, my brother-in-law, thought that, you know, buying me some books would make me feel better. And then he got me Starbucks. And we went to lunch. And he played, like, dice and cards with me. I haven't played, like, games in a long time. So it was really fun. But I'm going to quickly go over these books. Okay, that works. So I've already read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, but I loved it. It's actually my favorite in the Brown Sisters trilogy, and it's the only one I didn't own. So now I have that. Then I have Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. A Missed Connection, A Second Chance at Love. To the Green-Eyed Lovebird. We met 15 years ago, almost to the day, when I moved my stuff into the NYU dorm room. New York University dorm room, next to you at yours at Senior House. You called us fast friends. I like to think it was more. We lived on nothing but the excitement of finding ourselves through music. You were obsessed with Jeff Buckley photography. I couldn't stop taking pictures of you. Hanging out in Washington Square Park and all the weird things we did to make money. I learned more about myself that year than any other. Yet somehow it all fell apart. We lost touch the summer after graduation when I went to South America to work for National Geographic. When I came back, you were gone. A part of me still wonders if I pushed you too hard after the wedding. I didn't see you again until a month ago. It was a Wednesday. You were rocking back on your heels, balancing on that thick yellow line that runs along the subway platform, waiting for the F train. I didn't know it was you until it was too late, and then you were gone. Again, you said my name. I saw it on your lips. I tried to will the train to stop, just so I could say hello. After seeing you, all the youthful feelings and memories came flooding back to me, and now I've spent the better part of a month wondering what your life is like. I might be totally out of my mind, but would you like to get a drink with me and catch up on the last decade and a half? Oh, So honestly, I got this because it was doing its rounds on BookTube a long time ago. I think this is an older release. Let's see. Okay, 2015. So several years ago, I saw it doing its rounds on BookTube. At one point, Gabby really loved this book, so I found it, and I decided that eventually I would like to read it. I guess that I got a lot of romance books. I think what happens is that I have, like, crappy days, and then I'm just not in a good mood, so then I want to read all the romance books. So technically speaking, I've already read Well Met, and I loved it, but it's been a while, so I do want to reread this, even though technically you can read the series without reading them in order. So there's Well Met, Well Matched, and Well Traveled, and I'm pretty sure Well Met, I'm pretty sure that all of these take place at, like, a Renaissance fair, and the atmosphere of Well Met was super cute. It was like a hate to love romance, enemies to lovers, a laugh out loud romantic comedy debut where a little flirtation between two sworn enemies proves that all is fair in love and war. I actually read this, and I did not like the love interest at first. His name is Simon. And the next day, like, I was about halfway through this book, and not this copy, obviously, but just this book in general. I bought my hamster that was supposed to be a pet at school, but that's a different conversation. And he hated me at first. He was a big bully, and I was scared of him, and I didn't like Simon because I felt like he was a big bully too. So I named him Simon, and now that name kind of just stuck. But then we have Well Met, Well Matched, and Well Traveled. They're more Renaissance fair romances. So one of the reasons that I loved Well Met so much was because of the atmosphere. So then it says, a pretend relationships. Oh, I love fake dating. Okay, so Well Matched. A pretend relationship, gives me the butterflies. Gives two friends more than they bargained for in a Renaissance fair rom-com filled with flower crowns, kilts, corsets, and sword fights. And then Well Traveled. The Renaissance fair is on the move, and Lulu and Dex are happily along for the ride in the next utterly charming rom-com. Okay, so I think that the trilogy, I don't think there's any more in this series, but I am trying to embrace series, and I know that some people are going to be like, well, it's a companion novel series. It's not really a series, but I used to be afraid of companion novel series too. Then I have Would You Rather by Allison Ashley. What if the best choice is marrying your best friend? Would you rather play it safe in the friend zone or risk it all with a modern marriage of convenience? And I think that this is like a very rom-com-y type of book. I feel like I lean more towards the rom-com section of romance. I know there's a lot of like subgenres of romance, but I think I prefer rom-coms generally. And then I got one that this one might surprise some of you. It's going to be completely out of left field because I bought 2 for 6 romances and then a fantasy. What? Who is she? So this is Dust by Kara Swanson. This is Hares of Neverland, book 1. So it's the start of a series, but it's like a modern Peter Pan retelling, and that's all I had to know. Like, which is weird because I don't hate it, but I don't love Peter Pan, the book. Like, it was fine, but I do really enjoy the Disney version, and I know the Disney version is very, like, whatever, controversial, because Disney is grown to be kind of controversial now, but I still like it. So I'm gonna go into this with an open mind. Okay, so that's my little book haul. I will probably be going in fast forward at some point when I'm either doing computer work or cleaning some of my house, because that needs to get done too. So the first couple days of fall break, I'm probably just going to be doing stuff around my house, cleaning up, making it look nicer, getting some admin stuff for my channel, maybe for school done too. But I will see you here in a little bit. Reading sprints. We were right, or I was right, I guess. She's not dead. She just changed her identity. Her name is Jade now. And she's been on the run for the last, like, 25 years. And she's been pretending to be someone that she's not. So this is so crazy because, like, in part 1 of this book, you meet the different characters. You meet Riley, who is Lisa's sister. You know that Lisa died in a suicide. So this entire book has lied to me so many times, and I love it. I can't even imagine, like, I just wonder, like, did Lisa kill her musical coach? Like, did she, or has she been on the run because people thought she did it? I'm still not clear on that yet, but when I figure it out, I'll let you know. I'm still in reading sprints right over here. And then on the side, I'm checking Goodreads, like, giveaways to see if I want to sign up for any books. And then I'm gonna finish my admin stuff for my channel. So I will update you when I've read more. And yeah, when I have more thoughts, because this is crazy. This might be my favorite book of the month. I know it's early though. It's only like a week into October, and I think I've only read 2 other books. So, is it 3 other books? Is it fair? Yeah, it's my favorite of the 4 that I've read so far. Okay, so I am on part 3 of The Silent Sister, and I am loving it. And then you also have the aspect of Danny, her older brother, who is suffering from PTSD from going to war in Iraq. So there's those 2. And that's like a good chunk of the storyline. But then it also sets up the mystery of what happened to Lisa. So Lisa was their older sister. She was 11 years older than her brother. And when Riley was 2 years old, Lisa was 16, 17, something like that. She was just a kid. But she had been with she's a music prodigy, and she had been with this piano teacher, this like music coach for 12 years. And the claim is that she murdered her music coach, and then she killed herself. And the body was never found because, here's the thing, because Lisa and Lisa's dad created her a new identity and moved her somewhere else and got her a new name and everything. So part 2, which I finished just a couple minutes ago, was about what actually happened to Lisa after the claim and the setup of the book. And holy smokes. So if you're still here, then you don't care that everything is going to be spoiled. So, like, I'm digging deep into the spoilers. First off, Diane Chamberlain, queen. I need to read all of her books now. But you follow, let's see. Lisa gets a new name. Her name was Anna Johnson, but she went by Jade. And then after like a lot of traveling, she ended up in San Diego, California. And she worked at a music store, and she ultimately, even though everyone told her before, her dad told her that she could never play the piano again. She could never, like, be interested in music again. I know it's your whole life, Lisa, but you're not Lisa anymore. You're Anne. And so she kind of low-key promised that she wouldn't, but then she broke that promise, and she ended up learning violin while she was an education major. So I'm thinking maybe she's going to be a teacher, but you're supposed to think that she moved to Portland, Oregon. Woo! I love Portland. With her girlfriend. And that was like 20 years ago. So you still have a 20, like, well, maybe not 20, maybe like 10 years ago. So you still have a 10-year gap. And I'm thinking that part 3 is going to give me those 10 years of what happened and where she is. And I really, really hope Riley finds her sister. But today there's also people on, like, the music teacher's wife. She is still doing this blog online that is basically like saying that we need to find her because she doesn't believe that Lisa killed herself. she thinks that Lisa's on the run, which, like, she's correct, but she doesn't know that yet. And she thinks that Lisa deserves to die. Or, like, that she needs revenge on Lisa for killing her husband. But you're still not, they still haven't told us or showed us what happened to the music teacher. Hold on. They still haven't showed us what happened to the music teacher. Here's Bella Boo. So my theory is that Lisa didn't really kill him. I think something else happened. And I'm so excited. I'm eagerly awaiting, like, the end of this. So, my room, I did laundry this morning. But let me show you something. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. But my, those are my clean clothes. I also have a dryer full of clean clothes that's gonna be added, but I think I'm gonna spend the next couple of hours finishing my audiobook and getting that clean. I might film part of it, but it'll be in fast forward and everything like that. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving this book. It is such a shining surprise for me because, like, oh, it went places. It was like a very slow simmering mystery at the beginning. The setup was good, but it was really slow, and I'm like, eh. But now that we're finally getting our answers, like, oh, it's just so perfect. I love this book so far. Oh my god. It's been like 5 seconds. I was coming in here to get ready to start, like, doing my, putting my clothes away because I need to. And then my audiobook. Holy shnikey. Riley is not Lisa's sister. That would make sense. She's like 16 years older. Riley is Lisa's baby. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That makes sense because in part 2, like, it showed how Lisa had gone to different functions of the family to kind of sit in the back and not really, you know, like, really be noticed. But oh my gosh, that's her daughter. Oh my gosh. What? Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna sit here in denial, just like sit here just with my mind blown about this for a few minutes and maybe cuddle these little hounds. Let's see if we can get them. So here's Bella Bo. Here she is. And then this one is Blackjack. Let's see if we can get her in here. There we go. Blackjack and Bella. Mwah. This is my honorary doggy for right now. Oh gosh, French kissers. She's a French kisser. Okay. Then Bella Boo is my baby. And then I have Jelly. Jelly Bean, come here. He's right here. Oh, he ran away. So now it's just me and Bella Boo. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to sit and absorb that for a minute. And then when I actually start cleaning, it'll go and fast forward for you. But I can't believe... Why didn't Danny? Oh my God, Danny's her uncle, not her brother. Why didn't Danny ever tell her? Oh my God. Does Danny know? What? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I gotta figure out if she finds. Oh my gosh. I gotta figure it out. Like, I gotta know what happens. But yeah, me and Bella are just gonna cuddle and absorb this information. Okay. Now that I've processed that a little bit, I have a new prediction. I think, oh my gosh, I think that the teacher that Lisa is accused of killing, well, first off, I don't think Lisa killed him. Second off, I think he is Riley's dad. I think that, yes, he was a married man and he was older than Lisa by like 20 years. 20 years her senior. 15 to 20 years. Anyways, I think that he was making her do things. Oh my gosh, I think he's the dad. I don't think Lisa killed him though. If she did, I think it was self-defense. I think that maybe she told him that she was pregnant and he didn't believe her and he attacked her, and then she shot him because he was coming after. Oh my gosh. I have to figure out what happened. I just... Okay, so I've been working on my room on cleaning it, and I will show you the after, but it's not done yet, so it's not really the after, it's just like the midpoint. And while I was cleaning, I found my copy of The Silent Sister. Since I only had like 40-ish pages left, I thought I would read them physically while I listened. So this book is so good. Like 5 stars, 5 stars. This is amazing. So Riley ends up finding, Riley ends up finding her sister, who is really her mom, but she thought was her sister her entire life. And they end up forming some kind of relationship. You know, like a friendship or mother-daughter relationship. And then, like, I don't know, this book just has so many layers, and I just thought it was so perfect because it came together so well. And like, Riley was in a car accident, and that's why Lisa, or Jade, the name that her new identity, Jade, went to go be with her. And Jade's wife, Cecilia, is actually the one that told her the truth. So my prediction was spot on. The music coach that had been working with her for since she was 5, for 10 years, because she was 15 when she had Riley, had been grooming her and had been hurting her for 10 years. And Riley is the product of that rape. And everything that Lisa, or Jade / Jade, did in her life was really, really hard. Like, she created a whole new identity and left her family behind, including her daughter. But so I'm gonna tell you what happened with Mr. Steven. I think his name was Steven. So she obviously, Riley was the product of that. But then when Riley was just a baby, she was like 2 years old, Lisa, Riley's mom, had seen her, so Riley was just 2, and Steven had taken her, and he said that he was going to get custody of her because she was only 15 years old, but yet he was 40 years old, and he was saying that he could take better care of their daughter than she could. And Lisa just snapped, and she did kill him. But oh my gosh, this was emotional. I actually started crying at the end of this book, but it was emotional. The mystery was so good. I mean, I predicted it, so the ending was not that far-fetched, but I still was intrigued. I was hooked on to the characters, and I wanted to keep reading this book. So I did really, really enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a 5-star. But this is the end of the vlog where I read The Silent Sister by Diane Chamberlain. Highly, highly recommend this book. I guess that I'm going to start my next vlog where I'm playing Spookoply and trying to find my next read. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me.